Trump administration is invoking a state secrets privilege when it comes to giving a federal judge more information about those deportation flights of Venezuelan migrants to El Salvador under an 18th century wartime act. The Department of Justice has yet to provide that judge with information surrounding why it refused to follow his order and turn around 2 of those flights. Let's bring in CBS News Department of Justice reporter Jake Rosen for more. Jake, what more do we know about this state secrets privilege, and what is the new deadline imposed by the judge for information?
Well, this state secret privilege, Lindsay, is basically the government claiming that due to national security concerns, and in a memo from Attorney General Pam Bondi last night to Judge Boasberg in this case, senior Department of Justice leadership said that they're invoking this because potentially to reveal more details would fight their efforts, or it would hurt their efforts to fight counterterrorism, in addition to potentially hurting their foreign relations with other countries. However, the judge has simply asked for more details on these flights of when exactly these migrants and alleged gang members were flown from wherever they were to Tarmac in Texas, where they were put on flights, what time those flights officially took off, and details from after his order. What time did a Department of Justice attorney talk to the White House? What time did the White House, receive that message? All of that they claim he is not entitled to, and they put it as, quote, beating a dead horse, his persistence in asking for this.
There's also a deadline by the end of the day today to file for the government. What is that filing about?
Right. So the Department of Justice is due today, has to tell James Boasberg, this judge, in a full legal brief of why they did not turn these 2 planes around. He asked for this about a week ago. He's been waiting to hear the argument. And as they claim this invocation of the state's secret privilege, they're still required to file a brief defending their arguments as to what presidential authority, if any, as they've cited in court, they are invoking to claim that the judge really had no right to order to turn these planes around. In addition to that, the Department of Justice is also due to file more later this week. And plaintiffs in this case, to answer your last question as well, have to answer this whole argument in court by Friday, basically saying why they believe that the state secret invocation is inappropriate. And the ACLU attorneys in court have basically said Marco Rubio posted the tail numbers of these flights. There was media that met them once they landed. There have been interviews with people since then in the administration, especially Tom Homan, the border czar, who have talked about these flights. There's nothing secret about this besides how it was planned and put in place, as an ACLU attorney put it in court yesterday.
Jake, a judge has blocked the potential deportation of a different Colombia protester, Yun Soo Chung. What happens now?
That's right. This is another one of those cases like we saw with Mahmoud Khalil, who now the attorneys are going to try to make sure that she is released from her detention. This decision today was after an emergency hearing in New York, where the attorneys for this young woman basically argued that she should not be detained because her actions were protected by the First Amendment, that simply protesting at Columbia University's campus was not against the law and is not grounds for removal. And now the goal, and again, in all these cases around the country where people have been detained, these lawyers are now attempting to free these people from the government detention instead of just being simply held and unable to be deported.
All right, Jake Rosen, thank you.